and welcome to the Luv MEESH Podcast. I am your host, Meesh. There are a billion people in the world, and I'm just one of them. And welcome to my podcast, where I'll share my thoughts, opinions, and ramblings, and sometimes I'll have guests, and no subject is off limits. So let the conversation begin. Mimi, go Mimi. It's the MEESH Podcast. Hey, go me, go Mimi.
Go ahead and call me a coward, say that I'm not strong because I'm not like you. Go ahead and call me crazy because I live in a maze. Tell me, how about you? I think I live in my head, sometimes I think that I'm dead. I hide behind my youth. No, I've been losing my mind and I'm a little behind. Step aside my shoes, cause I never been happy with myself. And I don't need no one feeling bad for me, trying to offer me pity and throw jabs at me. Wanna give me advice and then laugh at me behind closed doors. Just close the door and let me be by myself, just me and myself. I'm tired of living, I cry, I hear it's easy to die, I wanna see for myself. And I know that sounds crazy to everyone else, but I'm depressed as fuck, stressed as fuck. Ain't no medicine that can cure what's intense as drugs. I need extra love, and that ain't even enough. So that ain't even enough, and where the fuck is God? Damn, maybe I ain't believing enough, but today we gonna see if he's real. And if he is, then I guess I'm probably going to hell. Look, I ain't wanna die like this, I ain't picture my life like this. They don't know what it's like this, pretending I'm happy so I can smile like this and laugh like you. Sometimes I wonder if I ever act like you. Could I finally fit in and maybe relax like, ooh? Or would you feel lost without me? Cause honestly, I think the world is better off without me and my mind spinning. This is the line finish. Truth is I don't care how they feel about my feelings. I made up my mind, I'm going out like Robin Williams. I guess I'm not the ordinary people of John Legend, and I've been suicidal since the day I was 9. Shit. Okay, the day I was 9, I've been tired of being bullied, couldn't stay out the fire. Grandma told me I should take it one day at a time, and damn it, look at me now. Fuck. Pen running out. Shit. Look, just know it's a new day, but if you're reading this, then it's probably too late. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. What you wanted, I hope you finally happy. It's too late for you. Been going out of my mind, you don't know how many times that I done prayed for you. I hope you hear me, goddammit, cause I got so much shit that I wanna say to you. I used to shine, now I'm all in the dark. I remember I used to tell you to follow your heart, but goddammit, look at you now, it's all your fault. How could you? Maybe it's my fault, I should've paid more attention to what you been doing. Maybe I should've been more of an influence. I can't believe that you're dead. I read your letter and all I could do is have mixed feelings about it. But I'll forever be attached to you. Damn. Part of me feels bad for you. A part of me feel like you weak and I'm mad at you. And I don't mean to be insensitive, but I don't understand how we couldn't prevent this shit. You took the easy way out. God damn it, you did. I mean, look what you did. I'm so fucking upset. How could you be so selfish? Nigga, how could you be so selfish? Now you're gone, you done left me so helpless. I wonder what God thinks. I hope you in God's place behaving yourself. Yo, what the fuck you gotta say for yourself? Look, I really feel lost without you. I hate the fact you think the world is better off without you. On my mind spinning, this is the line finish. Truth is I don't care how you feel about my feelings, and I'd be lying to you if I told you I'm fine. Listen, I know that you can hear me, all I need is like 5 minutes. I just wanna reach inside the casket and pull you out. I'm sorry, this is something that we both couldn't figure out. I wish I could hear you now. Is your soul missing? I wonder if you could do it again, would you do it different? Tell me what death is like. Was it meant for you, Brody? Did the heavens support it? Are you fucking happy now? Did you get what you wanted? Isn't this what you wanted? I feel the temperature falling, and you've been suicidal back then, you were not. Yeah, even back then you was not. We was living on the edge, couldn't stay out the fire. Grandma told us we should take it one day at a time, and damn it, look at you now. Shit. But it's a new day, and if you can't hear me, then it's probably too late. Fuck! Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me.
Have you ever considered suicide?
Yes. I took an entire bottle of Advil and brought a knife with me into my room to make it really scary. But I knew that I didn't want to hurt myself with the knife. But I was willing to go as far as take the whole bottle of pills.
All right, this is the heavy one I brought up.
Okay.
Have you ever considered committing suicide?
I mean, no.
I have not.
No, I have not.
I have not.
No.
No. Yeah.
Is that something you'd be willing to talk more about?
No.
Have you ever considered suicide?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I have considered it.
Actually, I called the crisis hotline on Saturday because I've had a very rough go in my life. A lot of death, doing hospice care for loved ones, and so it just became overwhelming.
Have you ever considered suicide?
Oh yeah. Whoo-wee. I mean, I'm in the happiest time of my life, but I've been like in depressive phases, like where I was like doing fentanyl and just hoping I was going to die just for months. Like I've had suicide be like a thought in the back of my head since I was a child.
First time I felt like killing myself was when I was 6. And it's kind of just been a thing since then. Pretty much a daily struggle.
Have you ever considered committing suicide?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Several times when I was much younger.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, what was going on that put you in like your worst state?
Not really having like a goal or a purpose.
I felt invisible, underappreciated, abused. I just felt like, what was this for?
I just thought if I were dead, maybe people would care.
I was struggling with childhood abuse.
My parents are going through like a really, really heavy divorce.
I did get picked on pretty heavily growing up. I even got I guess you could call it a death threat in my locker.
I have borderline personality disorder, so I've just struggled with depression, manic bullshit for like ever.
I have a nerve disorder in my face, but I had like one really bad one where I felt like I had like an axe or something in my head, and I just was like, this might be the only way to like not deal with this.
I was born to a family where my dad was only 17 years old and my mom was only 18 years old. And for like the first 15, 16 years of my life, I felt like a really big burden all the time. Like they could have had much better existences had I not been around. And that definitely led to some really heavy suicidal thoughts at times for me.
Have you ever considered committing suicide?
I have not.
I have never contemplated suicide.
I've never seriously considered taking my life.
Not seriously.
I have never considered suicide.
Because I'm like scared of death.
I've never had reasons to ever even think of committing suicide.
Has it affected your life through somebody else at all?
I've known people who talked about doing it.
You know, someone who's successful at it.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yep.
Anybody close to you that you're willing to talk about?
No, I think it'd be better not to.
I was recently affected by it actually 2 weeks ago. It rips families apart. It's really bad.
Have you ever considered committing suicide?
Have I ever considered suicide? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had some dark seasons in my life, I think.
I've never attempted it, but I have had a few partial hospitalization stays just because it was on my mind. It's more suicidal thoughts than going through with the whole thing. So.
When I was young, I considered it, but I didn't have necessarily a plan.
You want to know if I seriously thought about it or if I've actually attempted it?
Have you actually attempted it?
I have actually attempted to kill myself, yes.
I've attempted like twice.
I tried slitting my wrist.
I swallowed a bunch of pills and instantly regretted it. I made myself throw up. I drove myself to the hospital and I was there overnight.
Got my stomach pumped. Was in the hospital for 3 weeks. Terrible. It was terrible.
I actually had a gun at the time, and I was gonna do it. Like, it was close. But then I had called my mom, and I just, like, you know, broke down to her.
My mom ended up like coming home, like kind of in the process, like as I wanted to like do it. So I decided like I didn't want her to like find me like that.
I was in the bathroom and I remember looking at all the pills that I could take, and she knocked on the door and said, "Mommy, I love you." And I didn't do it.
I thought about my siblings. I thought that I'm writing their book too, so I can't stop writing because I'm doing it for them.
You know, I'd be leaving behind my other sister, and my other sister really looks up to me, and I couldn't like do that to her. And I'm sure it would have hurt my parents too.
The main thing that stopped me was just thinking about how much my family and friends would miss me.
I remember the night of, actually, I was going through my contacts and I was calling people and nobody was answering. And I was like, you know what? If this last person doesn't answer me, I think this just might be it. And then my friend Jojo, he's like my brother, he answered and he took me to, you know, our friend's house, and they all got around me and poured their love out to me, and they saved my life that night.
What have been some major factors in preventing you from committing suicide?
A big one was the students I had when I was teaching. That was pretty much the turning point. Like, ever since teaching and having students that actually like cared about me and learned from me, I pretty much had every reason to live every day.
If it's not going away and it's like really serious every day, you should totally go see a doctor. Because I saw a doctor and it saved my life for sure.
Being diagnosed and medicated correctly has just changed my life, and I'm not gonna say I don't have bad days, because I definitely do, but those thoughts have subsided and I'm very lucky to be here.
What helps you not be in that space where you're thinking about it?
Definitely my animals, my horses, because they're so grounding. You can't feel anywhere but in the moment when you're with them. And I think that's a big part of feeling suicidal, is you're not in the moment. You're in the past, or you're worried about what is the future.
Now I kind of really throw myself into music, and that is a really nice therapeutic thing for me to do.
Like keeping myself busy, art and like music, hanging out with friends, and just like spending a lot of time with myself and like learning to love myself has helped a lot too.
In the darkest times, it was reaching out to friends and actually even just reaching out to strangers on the internet. You know, I remember in the worst of it, finding chat rooms that were anonymous, just meant for depression, just to be able to talk to people.
What it comes down to is your friends are like your crutch. So I really relied on them and what they said, you know.
Went to therapy for quite a while. We're doing good now.
I'm definitely in a place now where I
feel very comfortable and safe.
I got a happy life right now, so I'm not really going back to that.
I don't know, I don't ever see myself killing myself at this point, which is good. I'm kind of past that really heavy patch, I think.
The things that helped me the most when I was dealing with suicidal thoughts was being able to have people to talk to about it. Because I think one of the biggest problems right now with suicide and how our culture handles it here is that it's this like icky taboo thing that you need to stay away from and don't touch with like a 10-foot pole, when in reality we need to be talking about it, and it hurts to talk about it and it sucks and you feel really vulnerable, but you need to be able to normalize it and you need to have that normalized.
Hey loves, and welcome to another episode of Luv MEESH Podcast. And today's episode, we are going to talk about suicide. It's a very serious topic. You've just heard 100 people answer the question, have they thought about committing suicide, and have they attempted to commit suicide? And these are usually the topics that we don't talk about. You don't just randomly say, hey, I remember the time I tried to commit suicide, or, those dark things we are kind of in our closet. The door kind of stays closed. Those that involved, kind of remember it, but it's not something that we really talk about in community. But they're coming up with all of these card games with different questions on them, hard questions, soul-searching questions, like best friend, close family member with no questions. And I think those are really good card games, because in the olden days, we would sit down at the table and we would talk. There'd be family time, there'd be family reunions, there'd be get-togethers, the elders would talk to the youth. As time progressed and as we introduce more and more technology, that kind of goes out the window. Everything is focused on making money, living your best life, yada, yada, yada. But you just heard 100 people say they've thought about committing suicide, and they've also attempted to commit suicide. I don't know about you, but I teared up listening to that, because I too have been down that road not once, but twice. And for me personally, it's never about, my career. I've always been able to find a job and, be able to make ends meet. It's never been about, being able to get a car or just adulting or going to college or anything like that. It's always been about relationships for me. And when everybody handles things differently, but I've realized I'm always a cloud 9 kind of person, sunshine, rainbows, happiness. But in this life, there's duality, there's ups and downs. And when I'm on the up and up, I can handle everything. It's amazing, of course, who can't? But when things go down, the only thing that seems to really affect me the most is like relationships. I don't know how to handle, those emotions are just so much, they're just so hurtful. My heart feels like it's about to stop beating, like I'm dead. Why do I have to keep feeling this pain? When is it gonna stop? Why did this person do this to me? All of this stuff, just not being able to handle it, which really just boils down to there's therapy and different things that you can do. Just learning that there's different emotions in life. There's highs and lows. And you cannot have a one-way life. You cannot just be a celebrity and have the car and the fame and the friends. Those are the number one people that go down those roads, because, again, there's yin and yang. There's that balance. And you can't just be homeless, without a home, without money, on the street and not have joy. Those seem to be the most peaceful, blissful people, ever. And as I've I'm like a chameleon. If you know me, Lord help my parents. My parents and my friends, they've seen me morph into different versions of Jamisha. And let me tell you, I'm not going to stop. I hope it's getting better and better. But I just learn, different aspects of myself, and then, I morph and I change. And the point that I'm at now is, I guess it's more accountability. No one has the power to do anything to me. I have the power, and I give that power away. And that's why it's important to set standards and boundaries, for protection. So I've been doing shadow work, and all of these feelings and emotions have been coming up, and they take you back to those dark moments, but they don't take you there to drown. They take you there with the life vest, with everything you need to survive, so that you can understand what it was for. And that's really all this life is. Every single thing you go through, every single person you meet, there is a lesson. And there are some really hard, negative, scary, dark lessons. I'm going to be honest. And my heart goes out to some people that have been to the depths of those lessons, and you survived. So how strong and brave are you to be able to survive when, if other people were put in that same situation, they would not have made it. So bravo to you. You fucking survived, okay? And that just goes to show you that everybody's different, because you could look at one person and be like, girl, you lost a job, go put another application and get another job. That's easy for you to say because you've had a track record of acing all of your interviews and landing jobs, and you don't really care if one ends because you're going to get another one. Like, the world cannot rotate without employees. It's a matter of time before you land another one. But for that person, they may have think that's the end of the world. They may have not had as many jobs as you for that experience to know, hey, when one goes, another one will come. Like, we all have to work in this world. The government wants us to work so that we can pay taxes, so that we can, have a place to live and food to eat. Again, which all of this is money, make the world go around. So that person just hasn't had that experience to realize that yet. So yeah, it's the end of the world for them. Same thing with relationships. Some people break up and they're in a relationship the next week, might get married and have a whole baby. Life goes on. But for someone else, that may have been their whole world. They thought that was the whole end of the world. Everybody's different. So I want to thank God, the universe, my ancestors, my deities, my gods, my goddesses, my higher self, because I've been put in a very uncomfortable place every time, I go through a situation. My emotions do get the best of me, I'm not going to lie. And I have to sit in that. I have to say, okay, well, I feel you emotions, because you can't just bury them or they're going to manifest and blow up in other areas. I feel you, I'm sorry this happened to you. Okay, let's analyze. Let's see how this happened. Let's see why this happened. What can we do going forward so that this won't happen again? You're great. You're amazing. It's okay. We're going to get through this. And just kind of nurse myself back to cloud 9. Just think about it. If you have a job, you got a house, let's say you have a 3-story house, you have a freaking Tesla, you got a pool, you got a yard man. Let's just say you got all this stuff and you lose your job with no money. You're going to lose all of that stuff. And it may take you a while to get that stuff again. You may get the jobs and you may get a place to stay and you may get a car. It might not be the stuff that you had before. You're like building again. And that's kind of how life can be like when you go through these dark. It's really just depression, and when some people don't know how to get out of it, they just want to get out of it, like the movie, like the song from John Lucas that I played at the beginning. So I've been reading this amazing book called Conscious Map. Let me make sure. Let me get it so I can tell you about it. And the name of the book, is called The Map of Consciousness Explained by David R. Hawkins. Now, he's deceased, as I said before. Why everybody I meet is gone. Like, I really want to go to these people's seminars, shake their hand, tell them thank you, because they really are living lifesavers, even though they aren't here. Like, this book will live forever. My children's children, print, digital, whatever. Like, as long as we're able to keep this stuff going, it can live. Like, look at the pyramids and different stuff like that. Like, certain things live on. long after you're gone. So what I'm learning in this book is that there are different levels of consciousness, your mind. And based on the level of your mind, you experience things, you make choices, decisions. They're all based on that level. Now, I'm going to read you an example of a homeless man, which I'm so glad he broke that down, because I completely got it when he broke it down. And one thing about this book, he said, okay, at the beginning you might not get it, but I'm going to give you so many examples. By the end, you're going to be a master. And every chapter I read, he's telling me the same thing, but he's telling it different ways. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's literally how life is. Think about driving. When you first thought about driving, you were so nervous. I was in driver's ed. We stole the cheat book for the damn book, so I didn't read anything in the book. When we was on the freaking driving course, we had to go like 5 miles an hour. Like, what kind of practice is that? Yes, it was still practice, but you're not going to be driving that slow on the road. And then I went to take the road test, and I failed because I forgot to turn the damn radio off. Then I went, he still gave me my permit. And one thing he told me is slow down out there, which everybody knows I still drive fast. But that was his one thing for me. And I remember this other girl got mad. She was like, she didn't even pass her test. How did she get a license? So shout out to Mr. Was it McGregor? Shout out to Mr. McGregor. Matter of fact, in my life, as I look through my past, all of my teachers, not relationships, because it's been, not outside of the educational place, because a lot of older guys have been a little creepy now that I look back. But the educational guys in my life, I could think of, I've had a lot of male teachers. They were like very encouraging. They will always drop wisdom outside. This man's telling us life story outside of driving. Like, they just I think as guys mature, they just become so amazing. Like, they get so much wisdom, and they really just try to hand that back to the younger generation. But boy, when y'all young, good Lord help the little women out there. When y'all are young, y'all a hot mess. But, it's a part of growth. But he didn't have to do that, because my mom was like, you're not driving unless you pass this class. And y'all, bad choices. I got out of typing, which was for my Bright Future Scholarship, so that I could drive. What the fuck? Now that I think about it, that was my fucking scholarship for school. Looking at these damn loans now, I would have been drove, but I wanted to drive. Like, I wanted freedom that bad. That's another thing that I'm working through with my shadow work. I knew I was going to go to college regardless. I didn't take the time to think how important that scholarship was versus them student loans where I am now. That would have been a lot better. But that's okay. You kind of live and you learn. I'll make sure my kids don't make that mistake. But I wanted my freedom that bad. Bitch, I need to drive. Let's do this driving stuff. As I look back again, my mom got me into Stanton. I was number 3 on the waiting list. She worked at a hospital. All her nurse friends. She had a lot of wisdom. And heck on me, I want to stay with my friends. I don't want to go. All right, send me. I was just a hot little thing. I can only imagine the hell my daughters and sons are going to give me. I wasn't the baddest kid, but that really would have been good for me. I would have went to Stanton. My sister, when your sibling goes, your sibling can follow behind you automatically. We probably both would have went off the car. Who knows where both of our lives would be. And that kind of like hurts my heart, because some of the choices that I made, I feel like they affected my sister, and I'll forever live with that. And I always just send out good vibes and positive vibes. Like, you can't change the past, but you can make the best of the present to make a better future. And sometimes if you go back in time, you change things. Like, I love my nieces and my nephews. How dare I say, if we would have went to Stanton, we would have went somewhere else, and those beautiful souls wouldn't be here. So I don't want to say it that way, but you get what I'm saying overall. So let me get back to the book, because your girl can your girl can get off path. So this book has opened my eyes, and it's, what? Synchronicity is all around. I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos. I've been learning a lot. I'm glad I'm learning about health and COVID, but I'm also learning about, aliens and drones and contacts and Dracons, and I'm stepping out of the dark world. Like, I definitely need to know that stuff to protect myself. But now that I'm bouncing over to meditation and yoga and different levels of consciousness and forgiveness and love, And to me, that's what this whole life is about. They got us working. They got us thinking about being CEOs. They got us thinking about marriage and kids and all that other stuff. This is what's going to get you out here. It's your soul. It's what you do for others. It's like they got us thinking about self. I want to work here. I want to marry him. I want to have these. What are you doing for others? And sometimes that stuff can slow you down. You're a whole CEO. You don't have time. You could be a whole CEO. And what if you're supposed to be mentoring these young kids? You off path. And what has happened to those kids that universe had assigned to you because you're not in position? And that can just, you could just give so many scenarios like that. Get in position. And that's another episode that I'm going to do. We need to get in position. Make sure it's still recording because I had got a call. Okay, good. It's still recording. Okay, so before I continue, because I got some quotes that I want to tell you guys, let you hear the story about the homeless man, because it just opened my eyes so much. So this is the map the map of consciousness explained by David R. Hawkins. Thank you so much. You changed my life. You don't even know it. This is page 85. You ready? Let's attempt to better understand the determining effects of conscious levels through an example. I love examples, y'all. Imagine a so-called bum on a street corner. We all have seen those, right? In a fashionable neighborhood and a big city stands an old man in tattered clothes, alone, leaning against the corner of an elegant brownstone. Look at him from the perspective of various levels of consciousness and note the differences in how he appears. Let me highlight that because I did not do that before. I always tell y'all about the shape in the middle of the room where the light is reflected onto it. And let's just say it's a circle, but pasted or glued all around that circle are different shapes, so that when you shine the light and it hits those different shapes, you see those shadows of those different shapes on the wall. And it was about 15 of them. I love that quote so much, but I didn't put it in this perspective. When a situation comes to you, like suicide or harming yourself or whatever, don't just look at it through that one lens. Okay, you had a moment. That's how you feeling. Let it stay there. Don't let it move to action. And then switch your mind. Look at it from a different perspective, because there is a way out. And I'm going to continue with the rest. Okay, I'm going to have to take these contacts out. My eyes have been bugging. And I lost my glasses, y'all. I had my glasses at the pool. I went back to the pool a while ago when I had my niece and nephew. I asked the people if they saw them. They were saying no. They probably threw it at the bottom of the fucking pool. I had got contact prescriptions, so now I'm going to have to see, okay, can I get glasses prescription for free, or is they going to charge me for that? Anyways, talking about perspectives, let me look at it in a different light. Maybe it was time for me to get some new sexier glasses. So that's cool. So the story is, from the bottom of the scale at the level of 20, which is shame, the bum is dirty, disgusting, and disgraceful. From the level of 30, which is guilt, he will be blamed for his condition. He deserves what he gets. He's probably a lazy welfare cheat. At 50, apathy. His plight might appear desperate. Evidence that society cannot do anything about homelessness. At 75, grief. The old man looks tragic, friendless, and forlorn. At a consciousness level of 100, fear, we might see the bum as threatening, a social stance. Perhaps we should call the police before he commits some crime. At 125, desire, he might represent a frustrating problem. Why does somebody not do something? At 150, anger. The old man might look like he could be violent. Or, on the other hand, one could be furious that such conditions exist. At 175, pride. He could be seen as an embarrassment or as a lacking to self-respect to better himself. At 200 courage, we might be motivated to wonder if there is a local homeless shelter. All he needs is a job and a place to live. I think that. At 250 neutrality, the bum looks okay, maybe even interesting. Live and let live, we might say. After all, he's not hurting anyone. At 310 willingness, we might decide to go down the street, see what we can do to cheer him up, volunteer sometime at a local mission. At 350 acceptance, the man on the corner appears intriguing. He probably has an interesting story to tell. He is where he is for a reason we may never understand. At 400 reason, he is a symptom of a current economic and social malaise, or perhaps a good subject for an in-depth psychological study worthy of a government grant. At the higher levels, the old man begins to look not only interesting but friendly and even lovable. Perhaps we would then be able to see that he was, in fact, one who could transcend social limits and gone free, a joyful old guy with the wisdom of old age on his face and serenity that comes from indifference to material things. At level 600 peace, he is revealed as our own inner self in its temporary expression. When approached, the old man will also vary in his response to the different kinds of level of consciousness. With some people, he will feel secure, with others frightened or dejected. Some will make him angry and others would delight him. Some people he would therefore avoid and others greet with pleasure. Thus, it is said that what we meet is actually a mirror. My spiritual mentor Sharita told me this. She said, you need to sit down and do shadow work. Turn off all your lights, get your black hair, and look in the mirror. She said, all of this doesn't exist. I don't exist. Nobody exists. She said, people in your life are here for two reasons. They're here to be your guides, or they're here to be your reflection. Your guides are trying to elevate you. They're giving you the tools that you need to succeed. Ascension is the goal. They were sent here on your better behalf. The mirrors are basically like tests. So with all this stuff you have learned, what are you going to do with this test? Are you going to pass? Are you going to fail? Because when you meet a person, you can have a good experience or a bad experience. And even if it's good or bad, did you learn a lesson? Okay? And she just kept saying that, mirror, mirror, mirror. And the more I keep hearing about mirror, the different examples I get, I just understand it on a deeper and deeper level. How many people have you heard say, I ain't giving him no money, they ain't gonna just go buy some cigarettes? And my ex was good. He would like say, hey man, because it's mostly men, what's going on? You doing okay? You just having a hard time finding a job, this, that, the other. There's a lot of resources out there for you. And he would give them money every time. And I admired that about him. You do not see a lot of people do that. Giving their hard-earned money to a stranger who could be scamming. But that shows his level of consciousness, which to me is really hard. Okay? Because your heart is deeper than your mind. Your mind will be like, nah, fuck that shit. But your heart is more, to me, it's more human, more soul. It has more love, more empathy. And mine just kind of go with the wind sometimes. So, that's why everything with me is love. Because I know love always wins. Love is extremely powerful. And they try to do everything they can on this earth plane to get us in all these other emotions outside of love. You got people hating on each other. You got people wanting to commit suicide. You got people in grief, sadness, all this stuff. But love, you get little bits and pieces of love, but we should be able to stay on that plane. That's the problem. Okay, so it was something else that I really liked. And I circled this. Y'all, I be circling so much shit. You know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to get a journal to go with my books. Because I just be highlighting the whole damn book. And I be like, wait, what? What page was that on? But I would have to search through the journal too. It'll be so much writing on the damn journal. Okay, well, I'm going to just put this down because, and I ain't even done yet, y'all. That's just page 87 and it's changing my life already. Freaking 87. Okay, so let me put this back in here. I got some quotes. I gave you that example just to say we can switch the homeless man to someone thinking about suicide. Somebody may have lost a loved one. Someone may have a lover. It could be a child. It could be a job. It could be a house. It could be bankruptcy. It could be a relationship. Shit, it could be anything, right? Anything that person can't handle can put them in that state of, it's really, depression is really those other emotions. They just gave it one word. Some people feel depression as sadness. Some people feel it as guilt. Some people feel it as remorse. Some people feel it as, you know, too much to bear. All of these emotions, they just group it into depression. Because they're really just lower levels. Like he goes from 0 to 1,000. Just lower levels of consciousness. To me, which is emotions, which is heart, which is soul, basically. They're going to switch the homeless man to a person with depression. You got some people, they can't take it, and they do in their lives. And my heart goes out to them and their families, because if it could have been one person that smiled to them on the street, it could have been one phone call, it could have been one test, it could have been one date, it could have been one lunch, could have been one anything that just didn't happen, because we all are so self-absorbed that little window of opportunity was missed and that person is gone. Sometimes things like that happen just to shake the other people too. Because when a lot of people die, people wake up into consciousness too. So if they did their job here on earth, that might have been their exit out. Who are we to judge? Okay. We'll never know till we get to the other side. They be telling us about heaven and hell and all this stuff. They make up so much stuff. What's really real at the end of the day? And, you know, they say that's the moon and that's the star, but shit, I ain't touch it. Is the moon? The moon could be hot and the sun could be cold. We don't fucking know. We just going by what we're told, right? But anyways, then you have people like Tyler Perry, homeless, living in their car, and a multimillionaire, a movie star. So it's not to say that everybody doesn't go through these emotions. When I had my miscarriage, I was surprised by how many other people had a miscarriage as well. They all had the same emotions of sadness, of grief, of remorse, of think about that child, this, that, and other. They all handled it differently. And some people are stronger than others. And that's to me why love is so important, because you can send love. They showed, I forget, I watch a lot of YouTube, but it was a Chinese experiment where a lot of people that do yoga and meditation were told to send loving energy to people across seas. And they tested the people across seas. These are all tests with wires and different things like that. And those people energy levels had increased. That means that energy traveled. That means me thinking loving thoughts travel. That means prayer is so fucking real, y'all. Is that not prayer? Are you not sending up a prayer when you send love? Okay, so you might not be able to help the person. You know, they lost their job, you know, this and that. You might not have no money and all that other stuff to help them out. Pray. Ask God, universe, whatever you subscribe to open up a window for them, to give them resources that they need. It might not be the best job, might not be a job they want, but as long as it can get them, you know, clothes, food, shelter, all that other stuff, provide that open window. Send that love for their heart, because without their heart beating, ain't nothing else gonna fly. Send them love to their heart, send them encouragement, all this other stuff. Just randomly pray for people. You never know what people are going through. You just never know. So just sometimes you have to help them get to those higher levels, because the higher up you go in level of consciousness, the better you think of things, you know, you have more positive insight, you can tackle, you know, problems better. This is probably known shit. Why is it like an epiphany to me? I don't know. I'm just looking at it from a different perspective, and I'm just like, wow, you know, like, really? This is all it is? Okay, so I'm going to read a couple of quotes. I'm going to let you listen to the last video, and I'm going to have my final closing, and I hope this podcast goes viral. Like, I really hope it meets everybody that it's supposed to meet, because especially with COVID and all this stuff and a lot of people dying, I always try to say high vibe. You can ask my family and friends now. I'll say like vibe high. Even before this happened, I said no matter what, keep your vibration high. Even before my depression restarted. This is my second time going through it. I was like, keep your vibration high. Little did I know I was trying to send myself a message through my friends so that they can send that message back to me when, you know, emotions struck. But when you're at higher vibrations, things can't affect you. You're less likely to get sick. You're less likely to get fired. You're less likely to lose money. You're less likely to get in accidents. It's a science behind this, y'all. When you get a chance, instead of sticking to your regular routine of YOLO, try to tap into spirituality just a little bit. Try to tap into unknown sciences and things that they don't really talk about outside of church. Like dig deeper. Because I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say, but dig deeper, because this stuff needs to be known. You mean to tell me that at higher levels of consciousness, I'm less likely to get in an accident? I'm less likely to die? That's something we all need to know. Like, you're protected. Like, that is literally energy around you. It's like we already have an aura field that's 6 feet around us. You mean to tell me that when I'm feeling low, that 6 feet turns to 5 feet, turn to 4 feet, turn to 3 means I'm not protected? And when I'm vibing high, shit, it might go beyond 6 feet. Did not Jesus heal the lady just by touching the garment of his hem? Now explain to me how somebody gets healed just by touching a garment. It wasn't a garment. Let's think about this. It was the energy blasting her from him. We have energy, and that's why I don't really like this whole COVID thing, stay 6 feet apart. Like, they really know. The first thing they shut down was the churches. We all know healing do happen in churches. I don't care what religion you have. Healings do happen in there. And part of it is from the pastor, part of it for the person touching on one accord with higher source. When two or more are together, I am here. We have energy. We really are X-Men walking around here. They just don't want us to know. They want us to keep going to the hospital. They want us to be residual clients with this money. They got us worshiping money as if it's God. Like, everything should go back to spirit and source. But again, that could be another podcast. Let's stick to the podcast. So, vibe high. Always remember to vibe high. And you can go low. I'm not going to tell you to laugh and have a whole comedy fest and you just broke up with the love of your life. I'm not telling you to be happy and you just lost your parents. I'm not telling you to celebrate and bitch you just got fired. Hell nah. Feel those emotions. You know, meditate, smoke, calm yourself down, whatever you need to do, and start to thinking, start meditating, start getting your vibration high so that you can move on. Like, you're not going to be able to have good results in those low vibrations. I'm just saying, however you can get to high vibration, vibrate high, vibrate higher. I think one of the ways that we vibrate high is love, but people always associate it with, you know, having kids, because those kids do give you love. Even in this book, it says pets raise your vibrations. Even to me, I equate that with even being in a relationship and being intimate raises your vibration. That's why there's a lot of toxic relationships. Y'all probably not even supposed to be together. But in that moment of love, that energy raises the two of you up and you fight to see another day. I know, but it's true. Okay, so I have a couple of quotes. Take every chance you get in life because some things only happen once. You decide to have a happy day or a sad day, and the power really is yours. And it's okay to have those moments. Just do not live there. And I honestly want to say that everybody was brought here for a reason. And let me tell you how powerful you are. When a woman and a man mate and conceive a child, there's one egg and millions of sperm. You beat millions of sperm to that egg. That's how powerful you are. And that was just one journey, one existence. Shit, Disney need to make a movie about the life of a fucking sperm. Because I feel like that's another dimension too. Does that not remind you of mermaids? You get what I'm saying? Living in a whole nother dimension. Having a whole nother life. Y'all remember Magic School Bus and all these shows? Osmosis Jones. There's life inside of life on micro levels and on macro levels. Just because we can't see it, I just sent my sister-in-law a screenshot of Horton Hears a Who. It was a big old elephant living in a big old world that heard a lot of noise from a tiny speck. And there was life on that speck. And they zoomed in and you saw the whole planet. It really was like a planet. And I'm like, okay, you know, they be putting truth in these movies and cartoons and stuff. Are they trying to tell us something. And then I sent her another one. It was a girl dreaming. And her brain was like, are you awake? And she's like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, what if this whole universe is an atom? I mean, what if? What if, y'all? Okay, so let's see. Good things are going to happen, and they really are. And life might be like a wavelength. It's probably going to keep going up and down and up and down. But I tell you what, you're going to start mastering those downs just like you master those ups. And you're going to be okay. When you first started driving, it was rocky. Look at you now, killing it. When you first learned how to swim, it was scary. Look at you now, killing it. Every single person, when you first started your business, when you first tried out for the Olympics, when you first became a parent, it's so many firsts. When you first started a relationship, there's so many firsts. It was rocky. It was scary. You didn't think you was going to make it. And look at you now, killing it. That's just how life is. Experience is our teacher. Not once, but multiple times. Look at all the women who started cooking. You weren't the best. Baby, you was not the best. But look at you now. You open up a whole restaurant. Practice makes perfect. That's what this whole life is. Practicing different experiences and learning to perfect them. We're supposed to be gods one day. How can you be a god of millions of people, billions, trillions, maybe even a whole planet or galaxy, and you can't even master one life, which is your own? I can't give you a whole world. You're not ready yet. I got to put you on earth. I got to put you in a school so that you can get it. You can go through different experiences. You know, you can see people on different levels of consciousness. You can learn forgiveness and empathy and love and all of these emotions that you need to be the best leader, the best guide. You know, it's just so big. It's so much bigger than this, y'all. This is just a tiny bit of it all. Keep going, because you did not come this far to come this far. And that will be my message. You did not come this far to come this far. You beat a million sperm to quit? No, you did not. You were put here for a purpose. There's people that you have met that you made a difference in their life. Where would they be without you? There's people you have yet to meet that you're going to make an impact on their life. And if you give up, we're going to have to try to find a replacement, hopefully, to help them along. But you're needed. That's why everyone's here. Everyone's here because they're needed. And I hate to say it, but it's yin and yang. There's some people working on the good side, some people working on the dark side. And I honestly feel like maybe humans are in the middle. And then you got these forces around us that's good and bad. And they have a job too. One of my, I ain't even going to say favorite movies, but there was a movie about an angel and a demon. Was it Lucifer? It was an angel and a demon. I think it was on HBO. And it was a little kid. And I think it was Satan's child. And the angel wanted to teach him good things. And the devil had to teach him bad things. And so the Satan and angel had a pact. They didn't really hate each other. But it was like, look, I'm going to teach him good things. You're going to teach him bad things. And he just became like a well-balanced person. And I honestly feel like that's a battle with humans too. Like, we have God Almighty that loves us, and angels and deities and all this stuff that has good things to teach us. And then you got the devil over here that wants to, you know, in his kingdom or whatever, he got things that he wants to teach us too that's not so light, that are dark. But who's not to say that that's needed? Who's not to say? And I mean, you can go too far in the deep end, you can go too far in the light end. I'm just saying gray. Let's just stay in the middle, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. You need to be able to harm someone if they try to kill you, so you can protect yourself. So you can't say that's all bad. And then you do need to be compassionate and give, but don't give everything away. Like, you still need to live to see another day. So there's balance in everything, which means those forces have purpose. They are still teaching us things. But, you know, some things just go too dark and some things go too light. And I think that's when it's out of pocket. But just stay focused on, too much of anything is bad for you. It's the best I can say it. Too much of anything is going to be a detriment. Okay, so stress grows in moments when you think you can't go on, but you keep going anyway. Thoughts are not facts. And I want to say, let those thoughts run through your head. Just don't act on them. Let them run. Just let them run and let them quiet down and die down and move on. I would rather be... Oh, no, that's not a good one. The comeback is always stronger than the setback. That's my favorite one. Stop comparing your behind the scenes to someone's highlight reel. Sometimes that can affect you too. Looking at all the other lanes and comparing yourself can be a downfall. My mom always say, stay in your lane. This is your road. Don't be swerving in other people's lanes. Stay in your lane. And I have to remember that. And sometimes I do pull back for that reason. I'm not in a lot of lanes that people are in. And I don't have a lot of people that are in the same lane as me. So I do feel alone sometimes. But that's okay. I know I'm still here for a reason and I have my purpose. And I don't think you can leave without fulfilling your purpose. Sometimes I think when people die prematurely, whatever their mission was, they completed it. And I had talked to a customer, and she told me when people die and you are sad, she said that's selfish. She said, what if you're thinking about, oh, no one's going to be able to watch my kids. Who can I call to counsel me? She's just thinking about who can I borrow money from? That I'm not going to be able to borrow money from them. She was like, you're not really missing a person. You're missing what they could do for you. And I was like, wow, I wonder if that's like how a lot of people feel. Because she was like, if you really was happy for them, that they aren't in pain anymore. They're in a better place. And she said after all this suffering, they basically graduated. So we all have committed to a certain amount of years. It's going to be some good and some bad. I think the good is good and the bad is bad for all of us on that scale. No matter how you look at it, it might be the worst to them, even if you can handle it. And she was like, you should be happy that they basically graduated. She said you're supposed to cry when people are born because of what they're going to be born into. But she said rejoice when they leave because they basically graduated. They're out. She's like, it's a celebration. She said when her mom passed away, she did a celebratory going home. They didn't have a funeral. So, you have to live your life like that too. So, yes, celebrate when people pass away. But when you go through your things and you say, okay, celebrate at the end. I went through a real traumatic celebration, experience. Go get yourself a cake. Dry your tears. Light that bitch. Blow out the candle. You made it. You survived. It did not take you out. Dang, I lost my job. I lost my home. I filed bankruptcy. Whatever it is, when you dry your eyes, celebrate because you survived. And that takes a lot of people out. A lot of people can't handle that stuff. How many people were molested or raped and they just ended their lives? They couldn't handle it. How many people lived through it and probably experience it still today? How strong are they? They live to see another day. Look how many blessings happened because they continue to live. It's bigger than you. Sometimes I think committing suicide is selfish. You're only thinking about yourself, not the other people that you're going to affect. Because in this book, it also explains at the highest level of consciousness, 1,000. And I always think of the movie Lucy. At the end, she blew up into the black specks and then she disappeared. We all are going to end up being all. We all are going to end up being every single thing. And to me, that's like air. Air is like everything. There's nothing it can't get through. They say everything is vibrating. Solid isn't really solid. It's just vibrating so high that you think it's solid. All this stuff. But I just say keep going. Please don't give up. You are love. My sister tells me that all the time. You are love. Let's see. Keep chasing, keep asking, keep growing, keep evolving, keep receiving, keep moving, keep exploring, keep loving, keep shining. Don't stop. Put one foot in front of the other. Believe that the road will be there. Be proud. You are not only traveling a new road, but you're making it as you go. Life is a gift. Wake up every day and realize it. You know what else? When you have those dark moments, there's someone on life support. And somebody's praying that they wake up. There's someone that's been told they have stage 4, 5, whatever. And this is how many days they have left. They would pay $1 billion or whatever to trade places with you. There's souls that are waiting their chance, maybe eons, to get into a sperm to be able to experience this thing we call life. And then it's like we get here, we lose all of our memories, and we forget all the shit we went through to get here. You beat 1 million sperm? You are a fucking God. You beat 1 million sperms to get here. Which means you have a reason. And I hate that they kind of make us forget what the reason is, what the mission is. But maybe that's the part of life, remembering the mission and growing into the mission and completing the mission. Because a lot of people remember at the end and a lot of people do it. Just like this book. Everything that he went through, he tells his story. He was a psychiatrist. I really believe the powers that be ran him out because he was really healing people. And he didn't give up. He put it in book form and he went around the whole world. You know what they did? They stopped him from seeing patients in New York. And they pushed him to see patients all over the world. Thank you. Sometimes you have to flip it around. What my grandma always say, what the devil meant from your harm, God can turn around for the good. She even told a story about a lady needing groceries and somebody laughing at her. Ha, 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 you don't have no groceries. And he sent groceries. And she said, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I got groceries. And the devil stepped out and said, ha, ha, I tricked you. It was me. And she laughed and said, ha, ha, God made you buy me groceries or something like that. So try to turn it around like whatever. You lost a job. Maybe God knew you weren't going to leave. So shit, I got to fire your ass so I can put you on this road where you need to be. Or, damn, that's not the one I need you to create kids with. I got to break this up so that you can meet the one that you're supposed to be with. Or, dang, there's a lot of, or dang. Just think. I love the game Sims. Just think how you make your Sims and you have to decide what they're going to do for today. And if someone knocks on the door and they got to do this and that, you're like planning a whole thing. Like God is literally like a mastermind. He really be helping us out. And you know, glass half full, half empty. When I was asked that question a long time ago, I was like, well, if it's nothing in there, it's empty. And then when it was halfway, well, it's not really empty because there's something in there. It's still halfway. But at the end of the day, whether it's half empty or half full, be thankful that you have a glass to either get water to put in there. That's a blessing. Or if there's nothing in there, there's air in there. Be thankful for breath, life. You know what I mean? So it's still full of something. To me, that just comes back to this book. When someone asks you a question, whatever answer you give, people be psychoanalyzing us. And growing up, y'all remember we had those tests in elementary? That was really testing our genius. That was testing our godhood. It was testing our consciousness, and we didn't even know it. We would take all these tests. Y'all remember those advanced kid classes and stuff like that? I remember a whole bunch of white people came to class one day, men and women, and they gave us a piece of paper and it was different instructions on there. And they watched us play this out. Raise your hands to stand up, sit down, pull in your chair, stump your feet, clamp your hands. And I followed the paper to the T. Then I looked around and everybody was doing everything else, and I started doing everything else. So I didn't follow my own self. I didn't follow the paper. I felt that I was wrong because everybody else was doing something else. And they was testing us the whole time. You know what that test was? Who are the leaders and who are the followers? At a very young age, they do this stuff. Another one is the chicken come before the egg. I just saw this show called Watchmen. And I love the character in Watchmen. I love the blue man, how he's in a lot of places at once. To me, sometimes that's how depression can be. You can have a whole memory of a time that is not here anymore. That person's long gone. But somebody else can't tell you that it's not here because you can feel those emotions as if it's happening right now. I do believe we are gods living a simultaneous life, past, present, and future. That's what memories are. Instead of telling us we're living past regressions, they tell us that they're memories or dreams. Let's be real. When we think about the future, it's called dreams or premonitions. They're not telling us, oh, you're existing, you're having a future existence. It's like so much lies. You got to put the stuff together on your own. However, to me, this is my conscious answer. This is my level of conscious answer. And whatever level it is, that's where I'm at. The chicken and the egg came at the same time. Wanna know why? Because inside that chicken are eggs, just like a female. I saw a picture of a pregnant woman. Inside of her, you saw a picture of the pregnant baby. Inside that baby, you saw her ovaries. Okay. They have to exist at the same time. You can't have one without the other. That's really the answer. And I didn't give that answer years ago. So look where my consciousness is now. So let me see if I can find another one. The temptation to quit will be the greatest just before you're about to exceed. Remember, difficult does not mean impossible. It's a slow process, but quitting won't speed it up. And I want to end this part on, hey, purpose awaits you on the other side of those suicidal thoughts. Because that is a very powerful quote. I bet if you really lined up everybody in the world, if they really want to be honest, they've had thoughts, maybe not attempts, but thoughts of, fuck this shit, there has to be something else. And that's just because whatever they were facing just seemed so hard to bear, they'd rather have a whole nother existence than to continue this one. And that just shows you how hard life can be for everybody. No person is exempt. Some just handle it better than others. I'm going to be honest. Some have better support group than others. If I don't have money to pay my bills right now, I have to move in with my parents. Another person's parent might step in and pay their rent. Another person's parent already bought them a house. They rent free. You get what I'm saying? So these different situations that we're in, we already have different ways that we handle stuff. So let's say your parents already bought your house, you lose your job, house paid for. You rent in your place, you use your house, dang, there goes those emotions, I got to move in with someone else. Or you rent in a place, you use your job, your parent got your back, you might feel a little bit different because shit, my rent gonna get paid regardless I had this fucking job or not. My parents got me. So just different situations, like everything, like really. That's why they say you cannot walk a mile in someone's shoes unless you don't really know about someone's situation unless you can walk in their shoes. And that is so true. Because just saying you don't got nothing refrigerated, what you gonna do? That's not the same. That person might have money in the bank. That person might have a village. That person, you know what I mean? It's just so many other scenarios. And unless you have that same exact scenario and then just build what's on the inside of you, you might handle it different. My parents grew up eating, cinnamon sandwiches. So if they have a hard time, if the food shortage start and they got bread and shit, they might be all right. I don't know nothing about no damn cinnamon sandwich. I'm ready to eat. I'm a cinnamon sandwich, what that's gonna do? I'm gonna handle it a little different. So life gets a little tricky. I see why people say it's a game sometimes, because it's really like a mind and a heart game, a people game, a spirit game, a level game. People who play video games, y'all probably know exactly what I'm talking about. You build this character, you got these tools, you go through different levels, you pick up different tools, you meet different people, you build different allies. You know what I mean? You get to different levels. And they just telling us right in our face like that is a mirror of life. You sitting there playing a game, that's a mirror of life. When I play The Sims, I had an aha moment like, oh my God, it's fucking life. This is fucking life. You pick the person, how they gonna look, who they gonna marry, the kids they're gonna have, the house they're gonna live in, the job they're gonna have, the career they're gonna take, the steps to get to the careers, all the way down to a nanny, all this. That's like you just playing all of this shit. You can put them on auto pay, you can build neighbors and make them interact. I don't know. It just goes on and on and on. Just don't get... Dark moments are going to happen. If you are a dark entity and your mission was to make bad things happen to people, you're going to analyze those people. You're going to see how you can hurt them the worst. And you're going to send them missions at them. And you're going to go up in your ranks because that's your job. Right? If you're an angel, you got a mission to make the best for this person. You're going to send them books and send them YouTubes and send them people and blessings and stuff to build them up. You got both of those things happening at the same time. But you have the power. You have the power just like Job. That's a very important story in the Bible. You could say, this is a test. I can feel my emotions. I might scream at God, but I'm going to be all right. Like, at the end of the day, you have that power. When all that stuff come at you, is you going to let it defeat you or are you going to overcome it? When all those blessings happen, are you just going to praise and worship and then turn your back when disaster strikes? Because, yeah, everybody going to be happy in happy time. That's not really showing your character. It's when the shit hits the fan and you really are tested. And that's why life can't be like a playing field. It's going to be a wave of up and down, a wave of yin and yang, because that's what really develops you. And it's easier said than done. But the higher levels of consciousness you get to, you just experience it a different way. And at the end of the day, you just be like, damn. You kind of look at yourself like, okay, what did I do? What can I do better? How can we get better results? Like, you already know you've been doing this since you came out your parents' womb. You couldn't even lift up your damn head. You learn how to roll over. You learn how to scoot. You learn how to crawl. You learn how to walk. You running. You driving a whole car now. You working. You gave birth to little human beings. Like, look at all the stuff you overcome. It didn't get better with time. And it's not going to end. I'm sorry to say it's going to keep happening. But I think the more you go through stuff, you just kind of get better at it. A lot of people, they have had 10 companies. They finally made it. Oh, Ford. I think Ford tried to build a motor 100 times, and he finally did it. I don't know how many years that turned out to be, but how many of y'all would have gave up at 2? He made it to 100. What if it would end up being 3,000? Patience is key too. So it's a lot of nuggets in the Bible. You know, sometimes it takes us a lot of times to get these little nuggets. But that's okay. You are supposed to get it when you get it. Because anything that you get too soon, you're not going to really get it. Get it? All right. So this next one, I hope it makes you smile. And then I'm going to wrap it up. And I know you guys are going to love this next clip. So take a listen.
What up?
I just wanted to call and I'm gonna get emotional. And say I love you.
Take out your phone, please.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God. Call someone and tell them that you love them.
Wait, that's so cute.
Aww.
Who are you gonna call?
Let me check my phone.
Oh, this is so hard to choose.
Oh, not that person.
I would say my roommate.
Hey, what's up?
I love you.
I'm so confused. Are you dying?
No, I'm not dying.
I love you because you're my brother, man. You've been there for me. You got my back and I got yours, man.
What's going on, man? You all right?
You think I'm kidnapped, tied up, saying goodbye?
I'm gonna call my mom.
My mom.
My mom.
Mom. My gay mother.
Of course I'm gonna call my mom. We're all mama's boys.
Aló, Alex, ¿necesitas algo de Costco?
No, I don't need anything from Costco. I'm good. Te aprecio, te amo. Love you.
Okay. I love you too.
I'm just calling to let you know that I love you.
I love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
I love you.
Mom, I was just calling to let you know that I love you.
What's the catch?
I love you dearly and I miss you and I'm so proud of everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Why was that a question? I've loved you for all the times that I've been not so great and you continue to love me anyway.
Yes. Unconditional
Okay,
love.
don't shade me.
I love you even more than you ever will know.
Oh, Mom.
Strong woman. That's my daughter.
Oh, I f***ing hate y'all.
I don't think she wants to talk to me. Please leave your message for... Hello.
Hola mami, solo te llamaba para decirte que te amo mucho y que te extraño.
Love you too. Bye, Mama.
Bye.
Why was that so emotional for you?
I grew up without my mom for 13 years. And I think for a long time, I blamed her for not being there for me. And it hasn't been until very recent that I can't hold on to that. And I need to be grateful.
Call someone and tell them that you love them.
Who should I call?
Who needs to hear it?
It's a good question.
That makes it interesting.
My heart just started going a little. I got one. I'm gonna call my dad.
My dad.
Please leave your message for...
This is awkward.
I would call my dead dad, but that's kind of weird and also probably someone else has his phone number by now.
I'm gonna call my dad because we have kind of strained relationship. There was a bunch of marital issues, so it can be pretty resentful. I haven't really told him that I loved him in years.
Hey, buddy.
I'm calling you to tell you that I love you. And I do. Do you have anything to say to that?
I don't think I've heard you tell me that before.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that. I love you too.
Love you too. Woo.
Feeling okay?
Yeah, I just didn't really expect him to be emotional like that. That felt good.
我一出世，我個媽爸唔係好多時同我講我愛你，所以我同我個媽爸唔會平時講我愛你。
Do you tell people that you're close to that you love them?
100%, except for my dad.
Why don't
But
you?
I'm not calling my dad, no way.
How do you think your dad would respond if you told him you love him?
He'd probably be like, oh, Evan, all right, yeah. I mean, I'll do it, like,
Put him on speaker. Let's see what happens.
yo, it. What's up, Dad? So I wanted to call you and tell you I love you, Dad.
Oh, that's so great, Evan. You hanging up?
I'll talk to you later, Dad.
Okay.
All right. You see how he didn't say it back? Yeah, he's just a goofball. It's all good.
Call someone and tell them that you love them.
I could call my best friend.
My best friend.
Very best friend.
Abdul.
Baxter.
Brandon.
Chris. Gigi. Maria.
Raina.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages. Your call has been. Please leave your message. Reached the voice mailbox.
Son of a.
People don't answer the phone anymore.
I love you, but you didn't pick up the phone.
我就想跟你说一下，我爱你。我真的很感谢。
Ttyl, parce que je veux te dire que je t'aime. Finalement, je le dis.
I love you. I love you so much.
I love you too. This made my day. I love you because you love me because of what you see. And sometimes I don't see it in myself and it makes me feel wonderful. It just made my day. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm gonna call my best friend.
Love.
I love you because you have been my go-to, and you're getting me emotional, and my number one forever.
I really love you, and I just hope that you're doing great.
I'll make it. I miss you. You're like my sister and one of my best friends all rolled into one, and I love you.
I love you so much. You're making me cry. You still there, D?
I love you too.
I'm gonna call Levi.
What up?
I just wanted to call and I'm gonna get emotional. And say I love you. We're going through a lot right now. Our friend who's in a coma. But I just want to call and tell you I love you.
Well, I know. I love you too. I mean, you've helped me out through so much, so.
Likewise.
Why do you think telling somebody we love them can like stir up emotions?
Because that's not an easy thing to feel or to say. It's hard to be vulnerable.
Who do you think about calling?
One of my sisters?
Oh, my sister.
Sister.
Wanted to call you and tell you how much I love you, how much I appreciate us being able to reconnect and like hash out our differences.
Look, this isn't an episode of This Is Us, okay? I always got you, so don't doubt that.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too. All right.
I think I should call my brother.
My brother.
One of my brothers.
Maybe my brother would like to hear that. I love you.
I love you too. Later, loser.
I'm gonna call him again. How dare you do this? Hey man, that was supposed to be like a legit, beautiful brother and sisterly moment.
Aww.
What a mistake.
I love you.
Love you too. It's nice to hear.
I need to say that more often.
I'm gonna slip it into your calendar. I think you do anything that's in your calendar.
Yes, I do.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have an older brother. Actually, we don't talk every now and then. I could call him. I just want to tell you I love you, dude. I feel as if I don't say that enough, or we rarely say that.
Oh, that's cute. Love you too, man.
Did you think he would react that way?
My brother's someone who's like not really the most outspoken in terms of what he's feeling, and so being at a point where I can actually hear him say I love you back as opposed to him kind of ignoring it. Yeah. Emotions.
Call someone and tell them that you love them.
Oh, great. I know just exactly who to call.
Hello there.
Hey, Grandma, it's Austin. I love you, Grandma.
I love you too.
Aw.
This is so cool. You can say it again.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too. Hearing your voice, it's appreciated. People text and do all that type of stuff, and it's so impersonal to me.
I'll make sure to call you more often, okay?
Alrighty.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
I'll call you back later.
Love you.
I love you too. I love you.
Bye. Love you too.
I love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
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 See, you're still okay.
Okay. I love you.
What'd that feel like?
Much needed. Like, I feel like we don't take enough time out of our days to do something like that. But I'm glad I did. It sounded like she really needed it. Oh, God.
Hey loves, was that not amazing? Did you not tear up at all of the people deciding who they were going to call in their home, in their phone, and tell them I love you? Do you see the different people that people reach out to? Their mom, their dad, their best friend, their siblings, their grandparents, you know, their significant other. Everybody has, we are all connected. We're all earth angels if you think about it. We decided to come here with certain people in place to help us on this journey. We probably knew what was going to happen from beginning to end. I keep thinking about the movie Watchmen. He sat down at the table with her. He told her everything, like, this is what you're going to do. We're going to go on a date. We're going to be there for 10 years. I'm going to die. Like, he knew everything from beginning to end. I honestly feel like that's what we know before we get here and we forget. So since you know, I'm going to be a woman, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to meet that person, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You put all those different people in place to help you with those hard times, to have those different tools or whatever that they have that can help you. Then you get here and you forget, and it's like, and action. It's like we wrote a play and now we're living it out. I don't know, it's so many different ways to look at it. He knew he was going to die. He knew that he can give the power to her in the egg. Like, a lot of stuff, like, came back to her just from thinking back. She had to go through it, but he was living it past, present, and future at the same time. That was an amazing. And I saw both of them. I saw the white version, quote unquote, and then I saw the black version. The black version was my favorite. I just remember saying, Mom, y'all really grew up looking at white TV shows all the time? Like, what was the black people like? That really, like, bothered my spirit. Like, I don't even want to see all black shows. I even question myself, why we don't have a lot of Korean or Chinese shows? Why aren't there a lot of Latino, Hispanic shows? They got to give these people their own channels. They can't just be all on one network. Why do we have to have BET? Why aren't all the stations like, and this is the movie? Regardless of the culture, this is the movie. No, you got to go on Netflix. And they got us so blind, we're still segregated. They just gave it a genre. So instead of saying Negro, blacks only, you gonna put African American, even with books. Like, it's still racial. I don't know. Anyway, that could be a whole nother podcast. But wasn't that amazing to see all the people like call someone and tell them I love you? Now think back to the other video where people were thinking about suicide. Now just imagine for a moment. And everybody don't like to talk, so, you know, there's different ways that you can show someone you love them and you care and different things like that. To me, prayer is the best thing that you could do. Even in the Bible, it says the things unseen and unknown are the best. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you send somebody something or you show up, all that other stuff is seen. But like praying and sending loving energy and health and healing and all that other stuff on the spiritual level, to me, that's more powerful than anything. To me, that's the greatest love. You could be sending me love, healing, and all that other stuff and heal me from a stage 4 disease. Who knows? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's all. To me, that's more powerful. However, imagine if that person in the first video who had the thoughts of suicide or even attempted to got that phone call from the person that said, I love you. Do you see how I'm putting the pieces together? And some people say, oh my God, you made my day. And a lot of people were crying to say it and crying to hear it. Like, it brought up a lot of emotions, and that's what this book is doing to me. Between this book and shadow work, 33 has been an amazing year. And they say this is your Saturn return. Baby Saturn was not playing games with me. For my 33rd birthday, it was like, baby, you gonna get this lesson. And we ain't going through this shit no more. Let you passing. And I got it. I finally got it. I'm passing, y'all. I got it. I just had to move to a different level of consciousness. And to me, that's all life is. It's like, you can't be 33 years old in pre-K, baby. You can't keep saying your ABCs on the circle. You know, your schoolmates and got married and had kids. There, you in class with your classmates' kids, man. Come on. And to me, that's kind of how life is. Like, you got to keep getting to these other levels. And some people want to stay stagnant, stay comfortable. Sometimes it's going good, but you still got to move. Like, in this book, he'll say, like, grief is bad, but anger is better. Because it's still like a higher level as far as perspective. And so he was saying that's why he could say sometimes Hitler could be better than, you know, something else. Not because of what the person did, but just you're able to do more at those higher levels. And when you think about numbers, what did Tesla say? 3 things about the universe. He said frequency, numbers, and vibrations. And y'all, I'm starting to get it. This whole level of consciousness is a word, right? Somebody put it in number format. I bet somebody else can put it in vibration format. Okay? They done had that pool closed for so long. Now it's open. I don't even understand. At this point, should I have to pay for a pool view and the fucking pool ain't open? But what does Tesla say? 3 things about the earth. Numbers, vibration, and frequency, right? So he put the consciousness in number format. I'm pretty sure there's a vibration behind that. And I'm pretty sure there's a frequency behind that. Okay, the number just tells you where you are so that you could see it. You know, as humans, we always got to gauge something, low, high, whatever. The frequency, the vibration tells you what all can affect you. Just think of your aura coming in to out. The further out it is, the more protected you are. Think of it as a barrier. You know how they say the world is a globe, we're cased in a globe. So when you got that globe around you, you're protected. The lower that vibration, things can start to attack you physically. You don't got that barrier up. And then to me, frequency is just as far as the mind is concerned, like the level. Like how I was telling you how different people can handle different situations mentally. To me, that's what that frequency is. Like, okay, so I lost this job. My boss sucked anyway. Didn't really like it. Let me try to find a job closer to what I like, because going in every day was dreadful. You know, thank you, universe. You're giving me an opportunity to find a career closer to what I actually love doing. To my soul reason, my purpose. You know what I mean? Nah, look, don't take too long. We definitely got bills. But, you know, thank you for giving me that nudge in the right direction. And what I've been learning is that planets are humans. Mother Earth is a female. Her name is Gaia. So on our itty bitty minds, we just think, oh, this is a planet. But from a different perspective, just hear me out. It's a whole human being. And you're living inside of her. And a lot of people are harming her. And she has the right to protect herself. So sometimes when things happen, maybe, you don't know, maybe she was protecting herself. You got to look at it that way too. So Saturn, they say Saturn is like the father. It sends you lessons. It don't play no games. And see, when I first learned astrology, it was like, what the fuck is all of this shit? But the higher up you go, the more you learn, the more you put in your basket, the more seasonings you got in your cabinet, the better your food tastes. Bam. That's the best way I could put it. So everything is finally starting to like come together like, oh my God. Like I'm just starting to see it from, different levels, and it sucks. I'm gonna be honest with you. Highs are amazing. That's why people love falling in love and getting in relationships and stuff. Like in my sexology class, she tells about the different chemical reactions in your brain. Yes, we love those feelings and stuff like that. So if those good things are happening in your brain when those things happen, what is happening in your brain when those other things happening? That's not the same reactions. You're not smiling and laughing and happy because you lost your job or someone you love. So yeah, we really need to learn alchemy, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And for those that are on lower levels, they may need your help to help them get to those higher levels. And you didn't come here to be selfish. You came here to help others. So he wrote this book, and he's helping little old me and thousands of people around the world. He's translated in over 25 languages, and I think he said he sold over 1 million copies. So when he meet Creator, he's going to be able to say, I reached 1 million souls in over 25 languages. My question to you is, when you meet Creator, what will you be able to say? And that's not everybody's mission. You could say, I adopted one child, and that one child could be the one to do this book and reach those people. So everything that you do, it's a puzzle piece. We're all not going to do the same thing. But the point is, will you be able to tell Creator that you did something? It's not all about you. It's not all about the house. It's not all about CEO. What are you doing for others? And there's so many different lanes. You don't need to be in every lane. What is your lane? Are you in that lane? And are you helping others in that same lane? That's how we're going to end up helping each other. So I love this whole podcast thing. It makes me really happy. I don't get paid for it. I'm just sharing what I learned. This is how I wanted to end. When I first broke up with my ex, I had a really hard time. I moved from another state to be with him. I had to move back home. Like all of that, it just was like a hot mess. And I first heard about these podcasts like 10 years ago, y'all. It was this show called Laugh or Go Crazy. It was a gay white man and a white wife. I want to say they were Jewish. They were in the Jersey area. You can hear their accent. And the name of the show was Laugh or Go Crazy. And the reason they started the show is their coworker died. And instead of being sad about it, they were learning about spirituality. And they just would come together and talk for an hour. And it was so funny because it reminded me of like Will and Grace. But at the end, they would be like, what are you going to do? Laugh or go crazy? And it really became like a family. I did not know these people, but every time they put up a show, I would tune in. I would, feel like family. And sometimes that's how we feel when we look at movie or TV shows. You start to feel those bonds or those emotions, or even some people feel like that with celebrities. Like when Kobe died, so many men, oh my God. Men don't really be showing the emotions, but so many men like really broke down. Like he really made an impact on their lives. You know what I mean? Then I was listening to another podcast called Anonymous, and people would call in for an hour and just tell their story. And I that was good for me because it was like, okay, yeah, you went through this, but listen to all the other things people are going through. So that kind of opened up my eyes. Like, somebody's child was going through cancer. Somebody had lost their husband. It was just like so many situations that it make you go, yeah, what I went through was devastating, but my God, you want to send love and healing to them. You start to think about others outside of yourself too. So that's why a lot of these big corporations, they give back to the community and stuff like that, because they know the whole point of life is others. God not just going to give you all this wealth to stay selfish. You're going to come crashing at some point. You have to give back. My grandma always said you can't get more in your hand if your hand is full. So you have to constantly empty your hand to get more, empty your hand to get more, empty your hand to get more. And that's literally how it goes. Yin and yang, give and receive. There's so many universal laws and stuff. But it just hit me that, wow, those different podcasts, and I've found so many more to date. Those different podcasts, and a lot of them are like self-help and funny. I mean, there's so many different genres. Whatever you decide to listen to, they're going to be beneficial to you because the Creator knows exactly what you need, and He has someone right here on the planet that's able to give it to you. And one day you're going to give to others, and it's just going to keep going like that. We all like trees. We grow. One day we have fruit, and those fruit fall. And we're able to plant new trees or help the bugs, animals, and humans eat. Like, it's literally how life is. But it's like, oh my gosh, those people don't even know that, you know, they really helped me out in tough times. Like, I would just push play. I would just, you know, listen to those things. Sometimes when you read books, fantasy fiction, whatever, it takes you to another land. Sometimes looking at movies, it can get you out of the zone. A lot of guys say they play video games just to kind of get out of that routine and to like a little vacation, a mini escape. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, I'm learning all this stuff. And I just be sending all my friends and family all these text messages. I'm like, oh my God, I'm probably wearing them out. So I was like, let me just put it on a podcast and put it out there. And the way this whole energy conscious thing works, it's going to reach who it's supposed to reach, even if it's one person, even if it's nobody. It might take 100 years before somebody click play. Maybe my generation isn't even born yet. You know what I mean? But I won't be here one day. And as long as they have these apps, as long as these recordings are out there, YouTube, whatever, somebody can click on a topic on what they're going through. And maybe they'll be inspired by some of the words that I had to say, some of my life experiences, and to know that if I can get through it, and let me tell you, if I can get through it, you can too. And I'm not trying to downplay depressions or emotions or anything out there at all, because when it's bad, it's bad. You know, they don't have the psych ward for nothing. They don't have these hotlines for nothing. When it's bad, it's bad. But there's people on this planet that love you. You have a calling, you have a gift. It's not over. Don't you ever forget you beat 1,000,000 sperm to get here. For whatever reason, we forget. But I challenge you to dig deep, to read books, to look at YouTube, to find movies, to find TV shows, to find different groups. What were you put on earth to do? What is your mission? What do you love? What do you enjoy? What would you do for free? Find something to make you money. Find something to keep you healthy, and find something that makes you happy that you could do for free. And if you could if you have to have 3, that's fine. A lot of us have to have these 3 just to get by. But if you can put all of them in one, you have officially made it. A lot of those gurus, they've made it. They're making money off of something that they love, that they would do for free. They're able to have a livelihood for it, and most of all, with the knowledge and stuff, is keeping them healthy. And that's okay. Everybody's not going to make it to be able to put all 3 together. You could have all 3 and still have all 3. You know what I mean? I think the pool's open now. There's too many voices out there. But yeah, I hope this video encouraged someone. I'm not on Facebook or Instagram anymore. If a company wants to take down factual things, I don't want to be a part of that person, because that's not me. If it's true, let it rise. No need to try to put it down. Sometimes the truth hurts. I'm on an app called Telegram, and I'm on YouTube because they haven't taken everything down. Now, if they start taking everything down, I'm not going to be with them either. But I'm finding out a lot of deep, secret stuff on YouTube. It's like a whole university, and I'm quote me now, it's not going to be free forever. It's not going to be free forever. And I hear a lot of people talk about 2024. If you pick up a lot of our credit cards and debit cards, they all expire in 2024. So my question is, what the fuck is going to happen in 2024? You know, these people think years ahead. And so, yeah, the pool's definitely open. I got one more thing that I want to say. I think I took a picture and then I'm done. It says suicide is a leading cause of death in the United States and a major public health concern. When a person dies by suicide, the effects are felt by family, friends, and communities. This brochure, developed by the National Institute of Mental Health, can help you, a friend, or a family member learn more about the warning signs of suicide, ways to help prevent suicide, and effective treatment options. If you know someone in a crisis, dial 911 in emergency or call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. TALK is also 8255. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or use the Lifeline chat at suicidepreventionlifeline.org. The Lifeline is free, confidential, and available to everyone. Now, what if they made it to where, I don't know, some people are pretty cruel, but people with a nice, genuine heart would just volunteer, like take an hour off work and help on this line. This is how I know these corporations don't really care, because they would have programs like that. They would have programs in each job that say, okay, on Monday, the people that want to help with the cancer society, we're going to go to the hospital and we're going to make cards for the kids with cancer for an hour. Okay, on this day, we're going to go to orphanages and talk to the kids. Okay, on this day, we're going to be on a suicide line. On this day, we're going to feed the homeless. With all those trillions and billions of dollars that they make, you would think they would be signing their employees up to do good for humanity like that. But no, they want to talk to you about healthcare. They want to talk to you about life insurance. They want to talk to you just money, 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 take. It's not really about give. Like, do they need help on these lines? And I wouldn't mind doing it. I would definitely, want to get a little training. I don't want to say the wrong thing or whatever, but I wouldn't mind doing that. I just put my email on the account now. So if you have any questions or concerns or want to email, you could definitely send an email. But yeah, we just got to do better as human beings. How are you going to be a whole God? How are you going to have a whole planet, a whole galaxy? If you guys I never was like a science person. If you guys go to YouTube and type in like how many galaxies exist, how many universes there are, how many dimensions, how many planets. Like I literally showed my sister a picture of planets. And it started with the sun. The sun was the biggest one on the screen. By the time it was finished, it was like Series A, Series B, planets I had never heard of, galaxies. It was even an eye. Like, bitch, it's like we literally are inside of something much bigger, which is probably a body, a God body. Who knows? But the things that you're going through now are so small compared to the complete of everything, I guess is what I could say. And my deepest condolences, sympathy, love, and all for anything that you're going through that can put you in a state of depression or remorse and all of the darkness. And I just want to send love and healing and light, that you have a better second, a better minute, a better hour, a better day, a better week, a better month, a better quarter, a better half a year, a better year, and let's just keep going. Like, I just hope that by the minute it starts to get better. And you just start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And there's so many people around you that love you. You have made a difference in so many people's lives. So many people are counting on you. You have kids and cousins and nieces and nephews, whether born or unborn, that you're going to just shine a light on them. Or you're just going to give them some memory that they'll remember forever. That just can make such a big significance in their life. And if you were to just be taken out of that picture, you will be missed dearly. And instead of having sparks in their lives, they're going to have pieces of sadness. And you want to give people those higher levels of consciousness, not lower. So you want to make sure that when the good Lord, universe, whatever you subscribe to, finally allows you to go home, that people are going to have all of the memories that they were supposed to have with you, and not premature memories with sadness at the end. Okay, so that is my prayer and my hope for you. And those chat lines, they're there. Those numbers are there. There's so many different mentors and spiritual angels and healers and all on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Like, you are not alone. You can definitely reach out, or you can go inside to source. You can definitely find a counselor or a mentor, do your shadow work. You are going to be okay. Trust me. Everybody has a cross to bear on this place called Earth. No one's exempt. And if they can make it, you can too. Okay? If I can make it, you can too. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know this was extremely long. This was definitely an episode that I was passionate about. If no one has told you that they love you today, let me be the first to say I love you. You are super duper amazing human being, and you're needed on this plane. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna get through it. And I hope you have a better than great day. And until next time, see you later. Mwah. Bye.
Thanks a billion for listening. You can reach me on other social media platforms at www.linkt.ee/luv.meesh. I hope you have a better than great day. Love ya. Talk to you later. Mwah. Bye. Go me. It's the Meesha Podcast. Hey, go me. Go me.